But I don't want no tea. It gives me a headache.
Oh, what shall we have then?
Coffee.
Hey everyone, I'm making this quick video, hopefully it'll be quick, for a friend of mine, Stan. I recently, today, got this zombie skull in today. He was all white. I washed him and cleaned him up, let him dry. He's hollow cast. I had to get the water out of it. Apparently there's little holes in here somewhere, but anyway. I just finished priming him about half an hour or so ago. I noticed, oh my goodness, tons, I don't know if you can see it, tons, see the little holes? All these little tiny, I don't know if you can see them, see the little tiny holes like that, and that, and that. Okay, see those little tiny holes, and then here, and here. Oh, hold on, I'm here. I gotta remember this is backwards when I'm watching the TV. So, I've got to get these filled in, okay? I got them all over. I probably got 100 of them. Sometimes that happens when guys cast, or they either don't cast the rubber correctly, or they're pulling it out of rubber too quickly, or they don't pour it correctly. Hollow cast means when they pour it in, they rotate it as it's drying, and maybe it didn't hit certain areas. It's just mainly the front face here. A lot of the veins are goofed up. So what I want to show right now, this is just a real quick thing to help Stan out, because he does a lot of beautiful busts and stuff, and I mean he does all sorts of great stuff. So to help him with this, I'll show what you're gonna need. Is you're gonna need Bondo, glazing, and spot putty. Okay, you get this it's $3 or $4 or $5 over at any automotive store or Walmart. I need some Walmart toothpicks. You need acetone. And acetone, you can get at Walmart, where I get it. Gee, do I shop at Walmart a lot? I guess so. Even though I don't like them, I have to, financially wise. But get some acetone. I buy it in a quart. I put it in a little jar like this. You're going to need Q-tips. These are the ones you get at Walmart. They're like in the makeup aisle. They have these neat little tips. And what's really cool about that is that, you know, you can get in real tight little areas where you have to get a little bit of putty out of. Or you can use the flatter end, do that. But they're very tight. So you can also use regular Q-tips. Okay? So just use some regular. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch right here. And I hope this works. I will take pictures if I can. And what I do is I put a bunch of toothpicks out. I mean, not toothpicks, Q-tips out, in case I need one or the other. Or if you really want to spend a lot of money, I bought these. These are really cool over at Hobby Lobby. They're Tamiya Q-tips. Look how tiny they are. Aren't they cute? I want to use them when I do decals or something. I got to soak up a little fluid or get in a real tight area. I'm not going to waste it. It's $5 for 50, so it's expensive, but they're neat. And I won't use them for this unless I really, really have to. All right, so anyway, first thing we're going to do, and Vinny knows, my friend Vinny knows what this is. He's got millions of these things, and I've got a bunch of them too, and we give them out to the club. They come out of his, when he does gutters, and out of the downspout boxes, they have like 6 of these in each one. And after all the downspouts he does, he has these tons of these, and they're awesome. Just cardboard. They're perfect for doing this. So let's get started. Just squeeze a little bit out. You don't want a whole lot because you're gonna be doing a little bit at a time. Like I said, I may have to move the camera. I'm hoping to show you. Let me move the camera a little closer. Okay. Let me see if I can move it around, get in a little bit better, get some more light. All right. Pardon me while I adjust everything. I'm going to try and do this for you all best I can. All right, so here we go. Let me hold him like this. Let's start with a good sized one here. Get a little bit of the red putty here. You're going to put it in that hole right there. Alright, I'm kind of seeing it. Just get it in the hole, squeeze it in there. Alright, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's find another hole. Here's another hole. I'm hoping you see this. Yeah. Oops. It's tough doing this on the camera, but I just want to get you the idea, Stan. And anybody else that's never seen this done before. Get it in there. It doesn't have to be, like I said, just get a little excess. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, this one's being tough. Now, this, when I do the acetone, it will take the paint off also. And it shouldn't affect resin too much, but it does. Oh, it does not like certain kinds of plastic. So, be careful when doing plastic. Don't do it minimally with plastic, the red putty and the acetone method. Okay, now this is not working exactly like I wanted because I'm having to watch the camera and stuff and help you see this, but we're gonna let this dry for a little bit, okay? Alright. Oh man, I'm not getting it in there at all. Hold on, I gotta look at this thing. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, this is a big hole actually. Some of these I might have to use Abe's putty on because they're so big. But the good thing about Abe's putty is you can shove it in there and it will you can use water to smooth it out. But when it's dry, it's going to be real tough. Also, too, what you saw when you just used my finger, if you get a lot in there and you're not getting in the hole, use your finger, squish it down. So I got that one done, this one done. You're just trying to squish it in there. Now this stuff does shrink, so you may have to do a couple apps, you may not. Depends on how much you wipe off when you're doing it. I'm going around the back side here. Come on, get in there, turkey. I said this is going to take a while. I said I don't know. I want to work on my instrument. And I cleaned the tracks today and everything else, so I'm getting back on that. I just wanted to make this to help Stan. Come on. It's not getting in the hole and it's starting to make me mad. There we go. Alright, well you could take this off, move it around, squish it down with your finger, and do that. So let me do a few more and I don't know if you can see or not. You can see kind of. Let me move this light up a little bit holder. There we go. See the areas I've done? Not the clearest, but this camera's not the best either. But I filled them in, okay? I'll be back in a little bit and I'll show you how you take it off. I want your brains. Anyway, while you were away, I did a few more. Now, basically, I've got it in. I've had to shove it. I did a big one up front here, and I've had to shove it in there pretty good. So let me start off with showing you basically. Man, the fumes in here are killing me. Do this with adequate ventilation. I open up the window in my bathroom, so it should be fine. All right, so take your Q-tip here now. I'm using one of these medical ones that are in a tight area. Dip it in your acetone, okay? Wipe it off like this. Come over here and just wipe it smooth. I want a little bit more on there. It depends. You're going to see how much acetone you're going to need to smooth it out. Now, I just screwed that one up, but that's all right. I did fill it in a little bit, but it kind of just went like this. Let me try a regular Q-tip here because I'm working such a different variety that I'm used to. All right, so I just put some on a Q-tip. Let's look at this big hole here. Just lightly brush it. And there we go. So I've cleaned it off. It's not so rough anymore. And it's filled in. Alright? So that's basically what you have to do, Stan. And just keep it wet. And you can see how it's getting dirty. And you can go put it back down in if you want. Because acetone evaporates very fast. So you want to make sure that you keep it wet. And it will start spreading out. So take a Q-tip here. Let's try this one here. And see, it's starting to. This has a lot of little sharp areas on it that's dragging my Q-tip down. So wet it again. Come along. If it gets in there a little bit, so what? Just brush it out. Keep it wet. You don't want sopping wet like I'm doing it all over the place, but you do want it wet. And just brush it in there, and it gets down in the cracks. Like I said, for resin, this shouldn't be hurting it at all. So basically, just keep getting Q-tips. Q-tips are cheap. You can buy them at Walmart. Not that expensive. Some of the holes I want to have to go back and touch up and stuff. But that's basically what you have to do is, because this one, I didn't push it in enough, and then I put the acetone over top of it, and it has since done that. Also, too, everything's getting a little sticky because it's melting the paint that I put on there, so it will do that. So what you're going to do is do the best you can, do an area, let it dry, do another area, let it dry, and just keep going back and forth like that. I got a piece in here. It looks like a piece of snot. There we go. But this is what it takes to fill all these holes in. I am probably going to do... This is good for doing small holes. I have larger holes like this big one I just showed you right here. And that one, I should have used Aves on it, but it worked out pretty good. So, but it's going to take multiple layers sometimes. But the thing is, to prevent you from having to sit there and sand after you fill it in with, if you don't do this, if you just put the red putty in there and then say, well, I'll sand later on with some sandpaper or whatever. Oh my God, you're in for twice the amount of work. If you do this, even if you got to fill it in again and wipe it with a Q-tip with acetone later on, you're much better off. So, yeah, you go through a lot of Q-tips and stuff like that. Make sure when you're finished with your acetone, you put the cap back on. I put it in a nice glass jar. This is one of those little Heinz 57 sample ketchup things. Put it in there, tighten it down so it doesn't evaporate. Be in a well-ventilated area. Not only is this stuff toxic, this stuff's toxic. And if you're like me and you let your primer dry all the way, that's toxic. Woohoo! I'm feeling really good right now. I'm probably going to have a headache in an hour. Anyway, all right. But that's basically how you do it, Stan. And anybody else who's watching, this is how I do it. I usually don't do figures this way. I usually use this on tanks, airplanes, or whatever I'm doing. This is my first real time having to do this for this kind of figure. But I know... in the future, for my dragons, I'm gonna have to do it too. They've got a lot of holes in them, and then my there, I'll show you. My bugbear, he's not bad up here, but his little beard things, where are they? Yeah, I don't know if you can see them or not. Hold on, I got my things on. Look at those holes. That's going to be... and I've actually got some of these tie things here. These are like tie downs for his beard. I've got to go and make new strands. Look at this one. This one just cuts off nowhere. I have to fill that whole area and make a new strand. So I've got a lot of work. And I'll use Aves putty on. So anyway, this guy, he's going to come along real nice. I want to work on my M51 instrument. I know it makes Vinny mad, but... I got to work on my instrument, but I wanted to show this to Stan because he had some questions. I wanted to primer it today to show that, to look at all the mistakes. The first thing I like to do a lot of times is when I get stuff like this is, let's clean it, primer it, and then I got to look at what I'm going to have to do to fix it because resin casting is not perfect. I mean, a lot of companies do fantastic jobs. This is some simple stuff they could have overlooked. I don't know, but... he's just really cool looking, so he's just got about 100 holes, so I gotta fill it. The back's not bad. It's got a little bit of a line here from where they split the mold to pull them out, and it goes up to about here. No big deal, I can fix that. But there's really no holes in the back. It's all up here on the face where all these intricate little veins are and stuff like that, and that's a problem. I understand when they do resin casting. I'm not mad. It's just one of those things you gotta predict sometimes when you do these kind of intricate things, so... But I'm real happy with him. He's cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.